Welcome everyone to our first Bridal Beauty Association webinar featuring Ashley Riddle from Updos for iDos. She is the founder of the wildly successful studio salons across the East Coast, and we're so very blessed to have her on our advisory board. And she has a lot of wonderful pearls of wisdom to share with everyone tonight. So please welcome Ashley Riddle. And I am looking forward to a really great informational little bit here. So thanks so much, everyone, for joining us.
Great, thank you. We'll go ahead and get started. I know everyone's time is super valuable, and I just wanted to give pieces of information that I've learned along the way that have helped Updos for iDos not only build our own on Instagram, but also turn our followers, whether it was a bridesmaid, a bride she was a bridesmaid, we did her hair and makeup, and then she was getting married, or we had even other followers that weren't even in the engagement phase, but had followed us along, were fans of our work, loved seeing our hair and makeup, and how we captured their interest and kept it up until the point that we could turn them into a client. So thank you for. I'm hoping that if you walk away with one piece of new, just as long as I give you one piece of information, that's something that you didn't know, I feel like tonight will be a success. And I'm going to move quickly so that we can really pack in a lot of information on this call. And first and foremost, if you don't already follow us, Updos for iDos on Instagram. Also the Bridal Beauty Association, you can follow. There's so much great information on that page as well. And you'll see all of the new releases coming, any new products, partners, everything will be released on our Instagram page, and you can also sign up for the Bridal Beauty Association newsletter there as well. And then my personal Instagram is Ashley A. Riddle. A little bit about me. I'm a mom of 3, so my time is very valuable. I have to make sure that every time I'm sitting down at the computer or on my phone with social media, that each minute counts. Time is money. And I've been married for 15 years. I've been a small business owner for almost 17 years. And I've learned a lot of different things along the way, but I've also made a lot of mistakes. So I'm hoping to help you avoid those mistakes with some information I have for you tonight. So first and foremost, when someone is going to land on your Instagram page, or even when you're browsing Instagram and scrolling and you end up on somebody else's profile, these are some things to keep in mind. What do you offer your clients? Put it right in your bio. It's really, really important that they can tell at 2 seconds what you actually do and how you can help them. Where do you offer your services? Something that I find super frustrating is that when I'm looking at somebody else's Instagram and I love them and I'm ready to hire them and make that purchase and give them my money, but I can't figure out where they are and how I can get a hold of them. How can I book them? How can I bring them along? How can I, be a client of theirs? So providing a call to action, a CTA, you will want to say, this is how you can reach me, or here's a link to book me. These are really important pieces just at that 2 seconds of your first impression when someone lands to your Instagram bio. Additionally, I find that a clean Instagram bio is really, really important. Having highlights is something that is going to give the aesthetic of your profile a very clean look, very consistent. It really ups your brand. I'm a huge fan of Canva. I have a little bit of a design background and did use Photoshop in the past. This is a lot easier, and I'm able to share it with my marketing team members that aren't necessarily trained in Photoshop but have the design skill, know the background of our company, what our aesthetic is, what our brand is, and we're able to create brand boards in here. So all of our profile for the highlights in our feed and then also in our Instagram stories, they're all branded. So it's very consistent. You're not going to see a blue and yellow photo when our brand colors are navy blue and pink. So it's just not gonna fit. But what you can do is use Canva. There is a free version. We do have the pro version. I love it because we get access to a lot of things that we use daily when we are building out our social media campaigns. But I've listed our link in here. It's a referral link, and it will get you a great discount. And I would highly, highly recommend just poking around in here, especially if you don't have a design background, aren't really sure how to brand your company. This is something that will really, really benefit you long-term, and it's easy. You can use it on your phone, you can use it on a laptop, any desktop computer. I'm a huge, huge fan. So once you get in here, not only can you make something for your feed, you can do a story, and then you can also do a story highlight. These are the little circles, and I'm going to show you an example in just a moment. But these are the little circles that sit, and you can actually, once the story's erased, they're 24 hours, you can actually house them in these different highlighted sections. And I like to keep it pretty consistent on our team because we're a team of hairstylists, makeup artists. Each artist on our team has their own profile featuring their work. And in another company, let's say it's a restaurant, they can put their menu or their drink menu or their happy hour specials. So depending on what type of business you have, this is really important so that your customers or future customers, whoever lands on your page, can easily learn anything about you within just a few minutes. With the fast pace of today's world, you won't have much time to make that impression. So having these highlights, even if they come back to your page, they can access them in the future. And this just allows for a really clean image on your profile page. Okay, so let's keep going about the bio. We're still just on your homepage. We haven't even gotten to the feed or the actual stories. So the little circle, it needs to be that when someone comes to your bio, they either know who you are because it's a professional headshot or it's your company logo. On my personal Instagram page, which I just use as a fun outlet for family and friends to kind of keep up with our life, our kids, things that are going on behind the scenes, family vacations, things like that. It's a picture of me, my kids, and my husband. So very simple. It is a professional photo, but if you are a single freelance artist, you're going to want to show your face. It's very important that your future clients and clients identify with you. Now, if you are a company like Updo's for iDo's, we use our logo. We're representing several artists up and down the coast, and that's our brand. And when people land to any of our pages, whether it's our website, Facebook, Instagram, any social media platforms, they see our logo and know it's the same company. So that's something that you have to decide whether you want it to be your brand or your face, or maybe your face is your brand. So it really is such a personalized decision, but you want to be consistent throughout all social media platforms so that once they recognize you on one, they can easily find you on the other. The next thing is there's this option to edit your profile category. Are you a small business owner? Are you a blogger, influencer? Are you a restaurant? Whatever your category is, this will help people find you when they're searching. You also want to organize your contact information, whether it's you want people to message you or email you, text you, call you. There's several different options, and you can set this up in the profile settings. It's really important that you select the ways your clients can reach you are the ones that you'll actually use. If you never answer the phone, don't put a phone number or call on there. You want to funnel all of your clients into one area where you can easily manage all of them. Next, you want to consider converting your page, your Instagram page, to a business page. Even my personal page that's just for fun and family and friends, I actually converted it to I have a Facebook page that I don't actually for Facebook, but it allows me to have the business page for my personal account. There's several reasons why you want to do this. I mainly do it so I can see the insights. I can see who my target market is, who's actually following my contact, the ages, whether they're in a different state or if they're in the same area that I live. So it really allows me to figure out how I want to leverage what I'm trying to push out, what content I'm selling. If it makes, if I'm selling XYZ and it doesn't really, my followers aren't really into I'm wasting my time. Again, time is money. So it's important to me to know those. I do track them and keep track of them. It also lets you know when followers drop off or people jump on. Sometimes it's robots and they aren't even real followers, but you can see engagement. You can see which posts. A lot of times I'll look back on my personal page and say, okay, what was the biggest content? What were people really drawn into? And ironically enough, it could be a selfie or a picture of me and the kids at the pumpkin patch. Things that I didn't really think other people would be interested in. Now, with the business, with Updo's for iDo's, I have found that it's artistry, where our artists are actually working, or it's a review with a beautiful picture of a recent bride. So it really is important when you're trying to find those people who are going to actually pay you for services rather than just hit follow. Follow isn't going to get you very far. So you want to actually convert them to paying clients. Okay, so here we're going to break down. These are of our Bridal Beauty Association followers, and I just really was drawn into their bios. The red arrows, you'll see. On Jessica's, she's featuring her logo. On Haley's, she's featuring a photo of herself, a professional headshot. We're gonna go down to the yellow arrows. Those are the locations. I can easily see where they are and where I can find them and where I can have my services. The blue on Jessica's, again, that's that profile category. She opted in, and it's very great that she has that because now we can find her under those categories when people are searching for her location. The green arrow, it explains exactly what she does. I don't have to guess. She has a makeup team. She does spray tans and blowouts. Haley does blonde. She specializes in blonding, and she does bridal. She educates. So having that in your profile bio is so important. You have those few seconds to impress people, give them the information they need. You don't want to make them go searching for it. The purple circles are their call to actions. How can we find them? Where can we get more information from? In this case, they have Linktree, which is a great option if you have multiple offerings. So if you have a hair salon, but you also do bridal and you keep them separate, this might be a good alternative, and then they can link to the proper pages. And then you'll see those pink arrows. That is going to be those story highlights. These are very clean, easy to read. If I am on Jessica's page and I don't really necessarily have time to go through the FAQ, she has them saved there, so I can go back and figure out exactly what she had, and I don't have to worry about missing it because she's already itemized everything under those stories. So super important to keep it clean. And I also just like when, again, you can use Canva to create these stories. You pop them up and then you can size them and fit them for the highlights. All right, some things to consider. And these are just, again, tips. I'm hoping that right now you can just take a few pieces of information and apply it immediately. So you'll see that instant gratification where you just go in and you're like, I'm good. This makes a big change. So what does your feed? Let's talk down. So we went from bio to highlights, and now we're going to the squares. If you have a personal and professional one where it's a mixture of your life because that's what you want to share, you want to make sure that you're showing regularly all of the different things. If it's 5 pictures of your baby and they have to scroll to see the pictures of the haircut or the before and afters, they might get a little antsy, you might lose a client. So I highly recommend that you take each square and come up with a system. Maybe it's one picture of you working, maybe it's a before and after, maybe it's a short haircut, maybe it's a new tip that you learned or a review, and then maybe it's a picture of your family life or something personal or a hobby. So I really, with our Updos for iDos feed, we really try to rotate artists working, the professional photos. Our entire feed is full of professional photos. We are so lucky that with what we do, it's such a visually pleasing business, and the photos that we get are all professional from real photographers who, you know, and the cameras have come so far. So if you don't have access to that, you can still set up a flat lay or a photo of the beach, something that, you know, you can still use your cell phone, but Canva, if you become a member and even on their basic plan, and I'm not an ambassador or anything like that. I just really love the product. So I'm telling you because I really do. But they have photos that you can use. So if you need some filler content, that works really great. But make sure that in your top 9 that you constantly are rotating through the different things that you want your clients to see, and at least some of them are actual professional photos of your work because they might gravitate towards those. If you convert to a business Instagram page, then you can actually see the insights of what people are looking. But there is, for me, I really do like having some of those personalized touches because people will connect with you. They might be like, oh my goodness, this girl loves to stargaze, or she loves to go to this gym and I go there. So they might that instant connection with you without actually meeting you in person. So it is great to filter personalized content as well as professional content. And then biggest thing is making sure that your profile's public. I can't tell you how many times where I've had a friend like, you should go here. They're so amazing. It's an incredible business. I go there and then I can't even find the page. So I have to request it, but it's just a business page. It's not like they have stuff that they don't want us to see. They just didn't change the setting. And I think sometimes it's just an honest mistake. And if you might remember when Instagram went down and everyone was like, Instagram's down for the day. A lot of people were upset about that because that's where they funnel all of their business. Luckily for us, our contact forms were still up. Our website was still up. We maintain other online portfolios so that if one social media platform crashes, it's not going to affect our business. People can still still see our work. So just keep that in mind. I feel like Instagram is a lot faster. We really move fast on it. So it's important that you do update that often. It doesn't have to be daily, but enough that you have fresh content. If I'm going to a new place and I go to their Instagram page and everyone's referred us there and their last post was from 3 years ago, I may be a little hesitant, especially in this past year. Are they still open? It's so sad, but it's so, like, before I drive, and if they don't have a call to action, they might lose that customer. So if you're trying to build up your books in a salon or find new brides to book you for the next few years or the next few months, it's really important to take all of that into consideration. Okay, so scheduling posts. As you saw, I have 3 small children. It's crazy. I need to utilize my time wisely. I'm huge on organizing and planning. I like to use Planoly. This is a referral the association. With Planoly, I can actually see what my feed looks like and what it will look like once they're posted. So if I want to keep it aesthetically pleasing, I know exactly which photos to drag where, or if I want to do an ombre effect. It's really, for me, I think I like the top 9 to just look really pretty. So that works out really well. And it creates consistency. So if I have a month, if we have a crazy wedding month and it's just nuts, I can't always get to post at the peak times, or even keeping that the feed consistent. So I like to schedule our feeds. The stories, I have found that I actually like to do that so I can engage, or our marketing team can also engage. But it creates consistency. You know that it's posted, it's taken care of. It's one less thing to worry about when you're a freelancer or a business owner. And also, Planoly lets you share to multiple social media platforms. So we can post once, or we can schedule some things go to Instagram and some things to go to Facebook or Twitter, Pinterest. It's really nice having that option. It also allows our followers on Facebook are very different than our followers on Instagram and Pinterest. They're completely different. So we can actually share the same content at different times wherever we feel like, and Planoly will tell you which days and times are best for your feed. So just having somebody else already figure that out for you takes one less thing off your to-do list. But you can use all different platforms, schedule different content, the same content. We find that if we post something on Facebook, we wait a couple days before we put it on Instagram and vice versa. And it also allows hashtags and tagging. So if you schedule your post and you know that you want to credit a photographer, the dress designer, the venue, you can go into the actual image and tag those vendors and their Instagram profiles, as well as including hashtags that actually lets you save bulk hashtags too. Again, makes life so much easier. So feel free to screenshot this or take a photo of it, this link, because it will just get you a great deal to start off. This is a glance as to what it is. It's a grid that you can see on the left-hand side is just simply what we have planned. S is scheduled, U is unscheduled, but we're putting them in rotation, we're building them out. And then there's actual like a calendar that tells us our peak times. Hey, this is when your followers are actually gonna pay attention. So to me, that's priceless. It's already figured out for me. All right, so let's go back to stories. I like to utilize my time on Instagram in showing that we are experts, we have value to bring to our clients, and we can make their experience stress-free. So a lot of times we're like, what do we post? And well, it's confusing. What do my clients want to see? So you can do polls, you can do all kinds of things. We'll get to that in a minute. But this is an example how we utilize updos for I-dos stories. What's our value? We come to our clients, we make their lives easier. If it's snowing, raining, traffic jam, they don't have to deal with the stress of it. And then we will play out a couple more stories that kind of go with this theme. We can talk about the experience. What's it like when they come in? Will they bring photos? How will we prep for their trial? What to expect the day of the wedding? And then services. In addition to what the value is of what we're actually going to bring, anytime we're rolling out a new program or a new service, new product, we can put it in our stories. And then again, usually we'll follow the headliner and then a couple teasers of what it actually is with a link to a blog post. So here's more information if you're interested. And it's really interesting because each of our blog posts have their own customized URL links, so we can actually see who's coming from Instagram and actually going. You have to have the swipe up feature, you have to have a certain amount of followers, but it is super convenient, makes it really, really nice. All right. again, running out of ideas. You're like, what do I put? I've already talked about what we've done. How many ways can we say that we do hair and makeup on site? Well, I like testimonials, raves, and reviews from past clients. I find that this provides so much relief when brides are coming in. They're like, wow, they do have online reviews. And we might have, we have Yelp and Google and in the wedding world, Wedding Wire, the Knot, but sharing these and just pulling out the best pieces of these real life third-party testimonials is great. Brides see it, they automatically feel comfort, and then they're intrigued. What else can I find out about them? So sharing real life reviews and kind of highlighting the best parts of the reviews where you think brides might be like, well, I didn't think about that. That really is super helpful too. And it's additional content. Okay, so let's talk more about the stories. How do we make them even more engaging? Because you can put these still photos, but there's so much more to Instagram, and sometimes there's some really creative people out there. But if you aren't familiar with this already, here are just a few techniques that I have found that help people stay on our page. Or you can even see, again, with the business account, that if you go backwards in the insights, you can see how many people tap back to go like, wait, I wasn't done looking at that. I want to go back. You can also see forward, exit, things like that. But it's really interesting to see how many people go back. Let me click backwards to see what it is. So in this case, we another content pillar is, okay, these are our brides. These are the brides that are getting married this weekend. Let's shout them out. Everyone loves to see their name on a board, a marquee, the dentist, like, oh, my name's on the sign. So we always love to share that in the excitement that our brides leading up to their wedding. So in this case, it was a flat photo. I have a template made so that every time we upload it, we just, put the brides in there actually getting married this coming weekend. And then if you go to the square smiley face, it is going to bring up the GIFs, or that's one of the things, but it'll swipe up, and then you can see location, mention, hashtags, all of these other things. I use the GIF a lot. In this case, it was a popping champagne bottle. So it just adds a little sparkle. I love putting glitter, dancing people. Sometimes, if you have like an arrow or like a look, if you're trying to draw attention, there's so many different things that you can add. And there's even ways that you can make a GIF of yourself. So there's so many YouTube videos on that, so I didn't want to go into that, but it's a really cool option. I also like to do polls, the slider. So you put, how much do you love this hairstyle? And then people would slide it. It just keeps them on your page a little bit longer. It engages them. Polls are great if you actually need information. And let's say you're really hesitant. You want to take this new class on hair extensions because you don't offer that right now. But would you actually be able to convert your clients into hair extension clients? So maybe poll them. If your followers are people that, or if you don't know who your followers are, and say, how do you know me? I'm a client, or I want to be your client, or there's so many different ways to find out, more about your audience while engaging with them. They love to tap the sticker. So there's so many different options with that. Okay, moving forward. I'm trying to keep this short and really jam a lot in so that I can give you a lot of information in a short period of time. Moving on to the Bridal Beauty Association. If you have a product, a service that you can share nationally, we have an open call for the holiday gift guide. We're creating it now. You can just shoot an email to the board directors at info@bridalbeautyassociation.org. And we'd love to feature the product. There's no cost to do this. And it's a great way to get your name out. All of our members will have access to this guide, and future opportunities will be available as well. So we would love, if you're a maker of anything, we'd love to learn more about you. And finally, if you're not a member, hope that you have gotten a little bit of information from tonight, a little sneak peek of kind of what we have going on at the association. There is a lot more coming. We have so many opportunities that are going to be rolling out over the next few months, but our members will have the first sneak peek, access to it. So we'd love to have you join, and there will be opportunities for our members as well to connect with other partners and sponsorships, so many great things. If you need information, you can obviously go to the Bridal Beauty Association's Instagram page. Everything is on our website. Or you can also shoot me an email, Ashley@updosforidos. And thank you so much. I'm so glad that everyone was able to join, and I hope that you learned something.